When I pull up OBS,
Okay.
I get my
It
face in the
should be
corner.
working now. It is working.
Alright.
Thank God.
Alright. Shoot
Is it
the.
showing the game at least?
Give me 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I gotta pull up the link again because I accidentally closed it because I'm dumb.
It is. Holy shit. YouTube streaming is a absolute circus. No idea why
Yeah.
it's that difficult.
Alright, I'll ping workshop again.
Oh my god. One day we'll figure this out. It won't take us like half an hour. Okay, today we got it in 9 minutes, and that is good. I'm happy with that, because last time it took us like 20 and we still had to switch over. This time we have YouTube streaming working, and that is good.
Oh, sick. And I'm on the DFZ, so I can respond from DFZ. And when
Yeah,
I say something in chat, I'm DFZ too. Cool.
yeah,
Alright, so now we just wait for people. Do you want
yeah.
to do patch notes really quick?
Yeah, if you want, we can start patch notes.
Yeah, just give it a let some people trickle in.
Yeah, I'm assuming you've already read the patch notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of the
It
changes
feels like
are surprising.
I mean, it feels like Clink's got a little buff. Otherwise, a lot of nerfs.
Yeah,
Clink's maybe it's a buff. I don't really know. Clink's P5 got worse.
yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll just go through the patch quickly just in case anybody missed it. So XP bounty getting heavily reduced, so nice. That was the thing that upset me so much. When you're completely crushing a lane, you get like 900 kills on them, and they kill you one time, and they somehow go past you in levels. The earlier XP, like the initial bounty being reduced, is super nice, and then the XP per level is even lower, which is going to be super nice for early game kills, not giving as much XP, and then in return, getting over leveled compared to them isn't going to be as punishing. That is super nice. The boot change, no one should be surprised by this. It was super OP with the introduction of spider legs. Like I know a bunch of people are memeing like, haha, they made flat rate into percentage, then percentage into flat rate. It's literally just because of this item, spider legs. It's the fact that you could get over 1,000 movement speed with Surge, Shikuchi, anything like that, and then you activate Spider Legs and you cross over terrain, which is way too good. It's not surprising they are trying to reduce heroes going like over 800 movement speed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just impressive that it's completely global. Like almost it is weird that they still keep it percentage and flat, but like as Journey said, it's gonna prevent like the really meme stuff where like an axe is moving at 1,000 move speed with
yeah,
dark surge or dark seer surge on him and just like killing everyone. So it kind of reduces almost like meme stuff to a
yeah.
point.
When you have all the items or stay like the non-boot items are staying percentage, which that's just gonna help more mobile carries. Like in my opinion, the percentage change to from boots is going to help support players be a lot more mobile because heroes like CM who are under 300 movement speed are going to be a lot quicker because flat rate, while heroes who are way higher like Coddle, like to support this any hero that has high base mobility, they're going to be heavily hurt by that because brood mothers are no longer going to be max movement speed, stuff like that. So to make up for it, they're adding the percentages back to Yasha and all that, which will help with farming speed a lot. I'm pretty sure it was like 16% movement speed back when this item was OP. So I don't think it's going
Yeah,
to be too big of a change.
yeah, not that broken anymore,
Yeah.
but still helpful for farming speed. It's not like they reduced the movement speed completely.
Mm-hmm. So one of the biggest changes is the changes to how they're trying to react to Satanic being super OP, in my opinion. I think the item was way too good and has been way too good for the past few patches. And just now it's getting a proper counter. So the first counter is Spirit Vessel. It is no longer going to be a just active component that you throw onto an enemy. It now provides an aura around your carrier of the Spirit Vessel that reduces any sort of healing, regen, or lifesteal in an AoE. That's going to be super, super helpful against any sort of sustain-based teams, as well as if you don't have charges or if you have to deal with multiple heroes that output healing components like Chen, like Alchemist in a DP lineup, something like that, where they have multiple heroes that need to be vesseled, it will help a lot more. And then because of
That
that, they have increased the cost by 250, but they removed the wind lace, so the price is still the same.
Yeah, it feels like this item just should be in almost every game now. Just because you can buy it on so many heroes. Like, it's not incredibly expensive. The stats with it are good if you get it early. Like, 2 armor, 2 all stats, and health, and 1.5 mana regen are all good on top of the debuffs. Now in an aura, so you don't even need the charges, like Journey said. Like, that, this item is just so good.
Mhm. And then we're looking at the most common trend started from last patch with the aura items being purchased on supports. Pretty much every single aura item at one point was purchased pretty heavily. So the main two were Basilisk and Headdress. Basilisk got increased by 25, Headdress by 50. So as a support player, the first thing I thought of is, okay, what is my starting build now? I personally, the only game I've played since the patch came out a few hours ago, I did one set of Tangos Headdress on Chen, and I just gave away 2 tangos to my mid laner, and then I just bought another set of tangos in as soon as the bounty rune spawned. I think that's totally fine. I think Headdress will still be a starting item for a large number of supports. And then with Basilisk, I don't think this Basilisk changes anything but that item. If you're going to buy it, you're still going to buy it. That's just my opinion.
No, yeah, I think I would totally agree. Just, I mean, to substitute for headdress regen, there's really nothing that replaces it unless you buy multiple salves. It's like equal out a course of over the cross, like over the course of the lane, and like that's just not worth it gold wise. Like headdress builds into some of the good items, builds into pipe, things like that. So I just think they're really, really, really good items in the lane, and that you just can't go anything to substitute for them because the price is higher. So I would keep buying them for sure.
Yeah. Sovereign getting a cost increase. Not too sure why. I don't think that item was. I feel like that item's totally fine. Although it's only 50 gold, that still slightly delays it for a lot of those mid heroes that would be buying it. Like Dragonite, in my opinion, was like one of the primary non-int hero buyers that bought it to help his shit mana pool. So it kind of hurts them, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary change or change anything in the grand aspect of the game. Then we got Vladimir's getting changed a little bit. Lower lifesteal, higher cost. Not too special. They're trying to nerf lifesteal a bit because lifesteal was really powerful last patch, which is why we have the change to Spirit Vessel. Mechanism cost increased by 50. That's just because of the headdress increase. Pipes getting increased by 200. Trying to make the magic-based heroes more viable for a slightly longer period of time. That 200 gold recipe increase could hurt a team because that's 200 gold the offlaner or the 4. Maybe the 5 will be having to acquire, but I don't imagine that'll change the meta too much. Lotus Orb mana cost increase. As I said before, with the last patch, when they increased this from 75 to 150, they're trying to dissuade any of these offlane strength heroes from buying it and just getting a ton of value out of it. Like it gives you 250 mana, a bunch of mana, health regen, and armor, and a basic dispel, as well as the reflective mechanic. They're trying to negate the 250 mana by giving it a way higher mana cost.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's a pretty good way to put it. It's just gonna prevent, your centaur that has a mana pool of 600 from having a lotus orb being able to use it, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Silver Edge no longer reducing regen. That is because it's been moved to Scotty. This item just became significantly better because it now allows you to fight heroes that have Satanic. But to talk about Silver Edge, I think this item's dead. I think Break as a mechanic is super niche, and it probably needs some sort of buff, whether it's a damage buff, a stat buff, or a cost decrease. I don't think this item's very good anymore. Like the only niche it really fit into was the Break, and the heroes that you typically broke generally had higher regen, but now that Scotty has that, I don't see anybody buying Silver Edge. I think Scotty will be picked up a lot more since you now have this way higher health pool that now you can man fight heroes with Scotty, because before you couldn't, even though you had way higher health, they had way higher effective health pool just due to the insane lifesteal they had and status resistance. Now that you have a counter to Satanic, people will be buying Scotties in response to it. Well as,
Yeah,
oh, go on.
no, I think that the Scotty buff definitely helps. like heroes like Medusa that were super bad in the last patch. Like typical Scotty buyers, just because it still has all of its like cold attack. I guess is what the patch was called. Honestly, didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like you slow people and they can't heal and they can't life steal. Like you basically can't fight into them. It's like fighting into Drow Frost arrows, but you also can't regen at the same time.
yeah,
Like that item is extremely overpowered at this point.
yeah. And then, in my opinion, this is the biggest change of all the items besides the Spirit Vessel Scotty. Nullifier no longer being dispellable, which this is super crazy. So the biggest change last patch, in my opinion, was the fact that Force Staff is now dispellable. So Nullifier was countered by still the same idea of just purging it off. Now, when you use it on a hero, they are locked down for 5 seconds, and there's no counterplay to that. You cannot Force Staff them, they can BKB, but they still can't gain buffs. They can't purge it off with Manta, they can't have an ally purge it with Lotus Orb. There's no counterplay right now to Lotus Orb. Oops, sorry about that. So, the biggest problem teams or people are going to have is when you're split pushing, you get caught by a nullifier, you just kind of have to man fight them. There's not a whole lot else you can do because that's 5 seconds where you can't TP, you can't force staff, you can BKB and try running away, but BKBing every time you're hit with nullifier is never going to feel very good. Then the last item change was a blade mail, losing two intelligence.
Yeah, I think that overall is gonna hurt blade mail. Like these weird blade mail rushes you're seeing in like the pro scene and really high MMR pubs where like Quap was rushing, Ember was rushing a blade mail. I think that may slightly phase out of the meta. It's still super cheap, so you'll probably still see it on those heroes, but it's definitely not as strong as it was.
Yeah, so the reason why it was strong last patch is because it gave, I think it was 8 damage or 28 damage and 10 intelligence. So any intelligence hero could buy this 2000 gold item and get 38 damage for free. And 6 armor, as well as the return aspect, which made your damage output in the early game super high. Which, not surprising, it's getting nerfed a little bit. I still don't think it was a crazy item. I think it was a little bit overbought, but it definitely had a crazy amount of value. And now on
You
to
know what?
hero
No,
changes.
well, I think, and just to add one more thing, the blade mail. I think that like it's still if you have like a quap with blade mail and she blinks in on you early and then blade mail, so she's hitting you or was hitting you for 38 extra. I guess now it's only 36 extra if I can do math. Yeah. So she's hitting you for 36 extra because she has a 2000 gold item. She you can't hit her or you're taking all the damage back. So I think it's still good and it's 6 extra armor. So your right clicks don't do a lot anyway. But
Mhm.
I think it's still really good if you can get it quick, but it's definitely not as strong. Like I don't think you'll see it as commonly on like these quap rushes or quap rushing it as frequently as we were before.
Yeah. Then in 7.26, the base patch, or 7.25, I forget. Yeah, 7.26. So the biggest change was the economy getting hit by 10% across the board, except for objectives, which were hit by 50%, which is why a lot of people started resorting towards Bounty Hunter and Alchemist, because whenever the economy tanks in this game, Alchemist and Bounty Hunter always become more relevant because they just get way more gold that shouldn't be available on the map. So to reduce that, they've nerfed Grievel's Greed cap by 2 gold, which that adds up. And the base gold multiplier is a lot lower now. It's 25% less. And the bounty runes are 0.5 lower, which this adds up. Like Alchemist getting this way higher DPM than anybody keeps getting trimmed down patch after patch. And then
Jenny, I think there is like a 20-second delay, maybe.
is there? Oh, okay. I'm not too sure.
You
There's no setting for me to disable that from what I know because I checked and it said that there was. I think it was like no delay, 30 seconds, like 5 minutes, something like that, and I had it on no delay. So maybe YouTube has a base delay of 20 seconds that I can't stop. I think. I don't know.
That's interesting. All right, well we'll work with that.
Yeah. Then just because of the changes to movement speed, any hero that gained percentage movement speed got nerfed a little bit just to make up for the fact that it would have been going really fast now. So Batrider, Bloodseeker, Broodmothers, all those heroes got nerfed a bit. As I said, Bounty Hunter Became super popular at the start of the new patch just due to him getting more gold. Track got nerfed a bit. Brewmaster, this hero keeps getting very small buffs. I still don't see this changing anything. 5, 10, and 15 damage increase across all of his immolation isn't very useful. It adds up, but it's not very good. Just so you know, immolation, if I'm not mistaken, is the radiance aspect of the fire panda.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that is true.
yeah. So it's just a smaller radiance burn, which isn't a whole lot, but it goes from 60 to 75 late game, which does add up, but I don't think it's enough to make up for this hero's super weak laning phase. Phantasm getting a cooldown put to 125. This hero still sucks. This hero is way too slow. He doesn't do enough damage. He's been getting buff after buff, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chaos Knight popping up a little bit more now and getting picked a little bit more as the patches go on. But I still don't think this hero can fight Terrorblades, fight PLs, fight really anybody like Troll Warlords. Any of those heroes, I think, to still crush Chaos Knight. Chen getting nerfed a bit. Yeah, this hero's crazy. Not surprised. He's still very good. Just nerfs to level 1 and 2. Anything after that, once you
Yeah,
get
just
level 2 Divine Favor, he's still fine.
yeah, he just weakens his really early laning stage where he was just so strong.
Yeah.
So I think that yeah, hurts level 1, level 2, just overall like the first couple minutes in the lane, but after that, Chen is still fantastic if you know how to play him.
Yeah. Thing's getting buffed a little bit, so the one thing that here is very good. Does damage cost or damage went up, and mana cost went up with it. Not too special. Death Prophet getting her movement speed aspect nerfs as well as mana cost nerfed. I think that hero is still very strong. I don't see that changing her pick rate or win rate too much. DK getting nerfed a little bit. I still think that hero is incredibly good. Dro getting base armor increased by 2. Still the same hero. Still weak in lane. Still kind of dies to everything. During
It
chains,
makes her
go
I
on.
think that makes Drab a little bit harder to man up on.
Yeah,
Like
it
a
does help.
little bit harder. But yeah, still dies to everything.
Yeah. Daring Chain's getting a cooldown increase. That's not too significant, but does kind of hurt. Coddle getting nerfed, probably not enough. Chakra Magic is still super broken. Like, yeah, Blinding Light getting an increase from flat 14 to 20 does hurt, but the hero's still incredibly good. Leshrac getting Pulse Nova buffed by damage at level 2 and 3. Not too significant. Lone Druid getting nerfed. No idea why. Luna getting attack animation improved. This hero still sucks. Too weak in lane to be picked. Night Stalker getting base
Uh,
movement speed reduced. Go on.
just jumping back to Lifestealer really quick, or
We
not
passed Lifestealer?
Leshrac,
Oh,
really quick. That Pulse Nova buff does make, I think, to a degree a difference because I know the current build was you wouldn't take a second point in his ult at level 12 because the mana cost just made it inefficient and like, the spell didn't scale well enough. I think this helps a little bit with like maybe changing that. I don't play Leshrac personally,
yeah.
but I think you got to wait out the pro scene a little bit and see what they're doing and then determine if that's really going to change how Leshrac's skills are built.
Yeah, that's fair. It definitely helps him a lot because you typically pick Leshrac to counter Phantom Lancer, which this does help him scale a bit better because it's an extra 20 damage uh, at level 3, which does help a lot. But I still don't see, like, I still thought that hero was super undervalued. I thought that hero was pretty good going into the last patch, and people just moved away from him after the Boots of Travel change. Night Stalker getting movement speed reduced just because of the changes to movement speed. Same thing with Ogre. OD getting 1% damage buff on his Arcane Orb. Still not very good. The hero's just way too slow for a mid laner. Phoenix getting his Fire Spirits cooldown increased to 51 seconds. That is crazy. That is so
Yeah, that
high.
hero's level 1 just got so trash. Like,
Yeah,
his laning at level 1 was already garbage, and now it's even worse.
yeah.
Like, yeah, that's rough. That hurts Phoenix.
If anybody does play Phoenix, definitely need to be super passive if you go like levels one through 4 really. You just have to be so careful because all of your abilities are above 30-second cooldown. Almost all of them are close to a minute now. Like half of them are at least. This is crazy. I saw this coming. Supernova no longer can be used with Aghanims, or Sunray can no longer be used in your ultimate when you have Ags. I saw that coming as a talent. I think you still normally take the Icarus cast dive range, but the Sunray Supernova is still super value. If you can be smart enough with your positioning, you can totally take the Sunray.
Yeah, I mean, I that the nerf was still coming, was definitely coming to Phoenix Ags because it was basically three Ags in one.
Hmm.
But I think it's still definitely going to be rushed, though, between the Spire Spirits nerf, the cooldown nerf at the early levels. Now you need level 20 to get the Sunray Town if you want it. Like, Phoenix really needs a lane in the mid game to get levels, especially if you're playing at 4 where you're trying not to sap XP, even 5 where, you're pulling and stuff, so your 1 is getting a decent amount of solo XP. You need to make sure you get a lane at some point, or the hero is just not going to scale well.
Hmm. Yeah, so it definitely hurts the hero's early game, which is Phoenix's weakest part of the game. Pugna, this is just going to be nerfs and support Pugna. That hero has become super popular as a 4 the past few days, just because Netherward became super value at level 1 and Decrepify was a super good spell, as well as the cooldown reduction from 20 to 7 seconds on his ultimate made him super good, not only at healing his teammates, but pressuring the enemies as well. Just nerfs to that. Just trying to incentivize core Pugna and mid Pugna. Like, this is going to hurt him his level 1 Decrepify almost got halved, but a mid Pugna should still be getting levels quick enough to justify it. Support Pugna not so much.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna force on support Pugna and Aether Lens Rush. Like,
Yeah.
it was already pretty common that you saw that. It's just even more necessary now.
Yeah. Razor getting movement speed nerf, as I said. Same thing with Slardar. Breaker, yeah, this pretty much, as I said, all movement speeds getting nerfed, except for Darkseer from the seams of it. Then Void Spirit getting his damage talent at level 10 nerfed by 5. That's still, I think the hero's still really good, and Wraith King getting 2 damage knocked off of his Vampiric Aura. That's a patch. I don't have a whole lot of impressions on it. I still think the game's going to be very fight heavy, and then we'll see where that goes from there. Like, just very fight heavy. You'll probably see a lot of active carries. I would be surprised if we see more Gyrocopter Juggernaut since they can fight earlier compared to heroes like Phantom Lancer. But we'll have to see where the patch takes us. So for now,
Yep, 100%.
we'll get into replays because that's why I'm assuming everybody's here. So first one we're gonna go
Uh,
through. Oh,
Real quick, do you have? I just want to like quickly see if we can get the delay down a little bit. If and I don't know if you might have if you have to stop the stream to fix this, don't do it. But is there a latency setting in the YouTube stream settings?
stream latency normal. Okay, yeah, there is.
Can you put it on ultra low?
I can try, but I have to restart the stream. If we're fine with that,
Okay.
I can do it. But
Yeah. Do people mind that? Those of you here, because that will get rid of this delay by a lot. It'll be like 3 seconds, according to what I just found. So if people are cool with that, we'll do it really quick, just to make like the viewing experience better.
yeah, sorry about that, everyone. I honestly didn't notice that. I could have sworn there was a setting that said delay, and I hit no delay. So
Yeah,
my
just
bad.
try and put a yeah, just go with because it's even making like my life slightly hard to keep up with you.
Oh,
Just
that's
yeah,
a fair
if you
point.
restart it real quick, everyone just rejoin it in like 2 minutes. We're still figuring this out, as you can tell.
Yeah, all right. I'll get on that.